Hello, and welcome to Martinis and Bikinis, the podcast for everything under the sun. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia, and I am here to help you navigate your 20s through all things lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. So, if you're ready, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to Martinis and Bikinis. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia, and welcome to our 50th episode. So crazy because I can't believe I started this podcast a year ago. I remember my first recording. I actually was here in New York and I decided to record a guest episode because I had some of my childhood friends in town and I wanted to get my first guest episode done and finalized. It ended up being posted later on, but I remember being so nervous to be behind the mic. And I look back on some of my earlier episodes and it is so crazy just to see how much I've grown. And this is your sign if you want to start something, whether it be a podcast or even if it's something unrelated, to just pick up and start because it has been such a learning and growing process for me. And I am just so grateful for every single one of you who has tuned in. I know Spotify Wrapped is actually happening right now. And I've had some people tag me in their Spotify Wrapped as their top 3 podcast. And it's just so nuts to see that. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, all of the kind messages, just anything that's kind of supported me along the way. And I promise you, it helps me to keep going. And it makes my day. So I'm just so incredibly blessed. But today, I thought it'd be super fun to kind of bring in the 50th episode in a little creative, fun way, which is why we are going to talk about 50 self-care tips that I would tell my younger self. So there's going to be 5 themes. So we have 5 things that we are going to address, but there's going to be 10 little bullets under each one. So I'm going to have 5 lists of 10 things for you, and we're just going to jump right into it. So, number 1, physical well-being. So I think when it comes to physical well-being, we immediately think of movement and exercise, but I think there's so much that goes into that as well. And I wanted to incorporate some beauty and some skincare and all of the things that I've learned through my 20s thus far. So number 1, getting morning sun is essential. Getting a grip on your circadian rhythm is probably the best thing that you can do because not only does it help us create a routine, but our body biologically starts to recognize what time we should be waking up in the mornings. And when you get outside first thing, it's kind of just a way for your body to awaken, get some energy, and it can be really, really helpful. Also, vitamin D is so essential for our happiness, our energy levels, and just our overall health. So get outside. If you haven't been outside today, go outside. Even if it's freezing. It's freezing here in New York. Number 2, moving your body in a way that feels good. Don't punish yourself in the gym. Find something that challenges you, but also something that you enjoy that leaves you feeling fulfilled and accomplished. I love to blend workouts together. So every week I will do a mix of things. So I'll do strength, I'll do cardio, I'll do Pilates, I'll do yoga. And I think whenever I have this perfect blend and balance of all of those, I feel my best and I feel challenged, but it's also workouts that I enjoy doing. And there's so many different subcategories of those types of workouts. So, there's Pilates fusion, there's Pilates mat, there's reformer Pilates. With yoga, you can do a stretchy yoga, or you can do just an amazing vinyasa flow or a power flow. So you kind of have to find a workout that you enjoy and works best for you. And there's going to be some trial and error and some experimentation, but I definitely recommend just having fun with it and not looking at it as a chore. I think finding accountability partners was the number one thing that changed my mindset towards exercising, because those are the people that would show up every day for me to go work out. We would go get like a coffee after or breakfast, or they just be good energy, and that energy rubs off on you. So I definitely recommend finding somebody that's going to help you rise to the challenge. My friend Fonda, shout out Fonda if you're listening. She is the sweetest. She was one of my friends in DC and still is one of my friends. But I remember we both fell in love with cycling. So we would go to Soul Cycle and we would just text each other like the day before and be like, hey, like, you want to do a class tomorrow? And then we'd sign up for like a 7 a.m. And it was kind of this accountability thing for me, because if I didn't wake up and go to this class, I knew that I was leaving Fonda high and dry. So I definitely recommend finding somebody that's going to push you, and also just someone you enjoy spending time with and moving with. I think it's super beneficial. Get creative when it comes to physical health too. So try new workouts, try new wellness activities. I recently did hyperbaric, and that was super cool. I went to Restore Hyper Wellness here on the Upper East Side in New York, and hyperbaric was like this big oxygen tank. So I was like replenishing my cells and my tissues, and it was a super cool just activity in general. I did a sauna after, I did contrast therapy before, where you can go into a cold plunge and then into a sauna and switch. I think it just can get fun if you make it fun and you have a good positive mindset towards it. So number 3, number 2 is a long one. Number 3, get out in nature. Go kick some rocks. I feel like we live in a world where we are so plugged in, and getting out in nature is so peaceful. It is so healing. It is so therapeutic. Even whenever I just go walk around Central Park and I see all the foliage and breathe in all that fresh oxygen, I feel like a brand new human. I swear, some of my best memories in life are being on top of a mountain or being by the beach. I was in Palm Beach this last weekend, and me and my mom went on like a very intentional beach walk, and it was so lovely just to get out in nature, ground. If you don't know what grounding is, it's basically the energy from the core of the earth that meets your body. So getting your feet on sand or grass is really, really helpful. And it has a lot of healing modalities. So get out in nature, go kick some rocks, and thank me later. Number 4, work on your makeup skills. I remember whenever I was going through my breakup about 2 years ago now, I made it a priority to just have fun with makeup. I don't know why that was like a big goal for me, but I would get in front of the mirror and just like practice putting on makeup, because I don't know, I just wanted to look presentable, I guess. But I had so much fun doing it, because I would watch YouTube videos and tutorials and TikToks, and I would just get really into new makeup techniques and products. And yeah, it can be really fun just glamming yourself, making yourself look presentable, and it makes you feel super confident. So yeah, work on your makeup skills, just have fun with it. And yeah, just go out into the world all glammed up, queen. It's going to be wonderful. Number 5, facials are great, but you can give yourself one at home. Look, I love facials, guys. And if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you know that I love a good facial or a good spa service. It is kind of like my therapy, but you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on a facial to get the same results, because you can literally do them at home. Whenever I do everything showers, I actually will give myself an at-home facial, and it's amazing. So I think it's better to keep things simple. So I think splurging on facials is great. Ones that I could recommend are lymphatic drainage or buccal massage facials, or maybe the occasional hydrofacial for just a deep clean. But I think the more simple, the better whenever it comes to skincare and to just overall skincare services. Number 6, your skin is not always going to be perfect in your 20s. This is a very transitional time in your adult life, and be present and enjoy the time. Don't waste it just overconsumed in things that don't really matter. There are going to be bad days, and scrolling on TikTok and aimlessly watching videos of people that use the beauty filter is not going to make it any better, and it's going to feed into those insecurities. Sometimes I will do this and I'm like, where are their smile lines? Where is their acne? Where are their breakouts? Where are their fine lines? And why is their jaw so sculpted? And then I start picking myself apart, and I've made it a habit to recognize that I love the qualities on myself, like my smile lines or, any sort of fine line or even a blemish, I obviously love science. I love Botox. I love filler, but I love my smile lines. I think it shows how much abundance I have in my life, and I'm laughing and I'm enjoying my life. And you just have to stop picking yourself apart based on what you see on others. I really love this quote, and it's something that I have just stamped on my planner, on my weekly task planner. It says, comparison destroys personality. And I wholeheartedly agree. I think we are all uniquely beautiful and amazing. And don't let overconsumption or scrolling or comparison tear you down, because you are so cool and beautiful. Number 7, the ultimate beauty tool is your sleep. And not just any sleep, adequate sleep. I once heard this article about J-Lo. My mom read it to me. She's a big magazine reader, and she was reading this Elle magazine or People magazine where they did a spread on J-Lo and how she has stayed looking so young. And she says she gets like 9 to 12 hours of sleep every night, which I don't know if that's too much, but it seems to be working for her. I recently got an Aura ring, and I'm really excited to start using it because I want to start tracking my sleep cycles and just be really in tune with my sleep schedules and my quality of sleep. But yeah, sleeping is so essential. It can positively impact your workouts, and it will make you feel energized. Your skin will look better. You'll just feel amazing. You'll look better. You'll just be hot if you sleep more. So this is your sign to get that good quality sleep. And remember that our body likes routine. I know some people have a really hard time sleeping. I have had so many friends that have just told me about their issues with sleeping and getting to sleep and staying asleep. I always tell them about this supplement called Luna. It is on Amazon. It's super affordable. It's completely clean, natural. That stuff puts me out like a light. Like, forget Ambien. Luna pills are it. I absolutely adore that brand because it helped me get on more of a routine whenever I needed to get on one. And if I find myself getting off of my routine, I'll pop one right before bed and I'll sleep throughout the night, and it's lovely. I also love essential oils for sleeping. So lavender or eucalyptus, putting it on my wrist. I think that is a really great way to get yourself into a calming sleep and mindset. I think having like a bedtime routine, like getting your book out, putting your phone away, making like a relaxing scene, getting your pillow all fluffed up. I have this pillow spray that I'll spray on my pillow. And I think, what you do before going to sleep will help you have better sleep. Number 8, just because you had one cheat meal or a fun long weekend does not mean that you have to completely abandon your healthy decision making. So I think our health is such a rocky thing to talk about sometimes because it can be people's number one insecurity. So, if you start talking about your eating habits or the way that you work out, and maybe the weekend before, your friends saw you out at a club, face down, ass up, they might come at you a little bit. They might call at you for some hypocrisy. So I think you have to just take all of that with a grain of salt And just know that every single health journey is so unique to you and unique to what your version of balance is. So you need to make sure you can cancel out the noise, but also make sure that you can rely on yourself. If you have that cheat meal or if you do have that long weekend and you treat your body like a garbage can, just make sure to get on the right footing that Monday morning and just do what needs to be done. Fuel your body, make yourself feel good, hydrate. I think that's super important and will ultimately make you feel better when it comes to your physical well-being. Number 9, stop using Band-Aids to fix your health problems. Look, I know that everybody is on their own path. For me, this is just an example, but I have not been on birth control for years, and I was put on it, I want to say at 15 or 16 years old for my acne breakouts. And, I think that modalities like that can almost be used as a Band-Aid to cover up more core issues. So I think what I've learned throughout the years is to really get in tune with what is going on inside of my body as opposed to just taking something or, trying to find this quick fix to alleviate the problem. So even whenever it comes to a diet, a crash diet, that's not going to be sustainable or substantial. So I think sustainability is key when it comes to your health. And also getting to the root of the issue is so important. Number 10, beauty from within is hands down the most attractive trait on any person. So forget physical attributes, physical well-being. If you are a good-hearted person, genuine, kind, helpful, generous, that goes so much of a longer way than all these external things that are kind of nonsense. Don't get me wrong. I love the beauty space. I love the self-care space. But if you are unable to look within and heal parts of yourself that might be a little ugly, then I think that should be your number one priority. Beauty from within will absolutely go much of a longer way than any sort of physical beauty. And just remember, we're all uniquely beautiful. And I think whenever your inner beauty shines, it helps your external beauty shine. It puts a smile on your face. You have a warmness about you. You have good energy. So yeah, focus on that. I think that's the number one focus point that I wish I would have known earlier in my 20s. All right, going on to theme number 2, mental and emotional wellness. Number 1, breath work is key. Meditation is great and it can be great for alleviating stress. But if you want actual mental, emotional, physical benefits from your practice, implement some form of breath work. I do Wim Hof's breath work almost every single morning, if I remember. Not every morning is perfect, but it's only 10 minutes and it's 3 rounds of intentional breathing. So it can help regulate your heart rate, your blood pressure, your stress levels, your sleep, and it can lead to improved overall health and well-being. Number 2, screen time. Put your phone on the other side of the room whenever it's time to go to bed, or even if you just need a break. I always recommend taking like a digital detox throughout the day, whether it be 30 minutes or even an hour is amazing. And something I've started doing, I've had such a hard time with my phone lately, guys. I don't know if anybody feels the same way, but I've felt so attached to my phone recently. And I think whenever you're going through transitional times in your life, it can be something that you can easily grab onto and feel like, you're a part of a community. And, obviously there's amazing online communities out there and it is very helpful and it can be used as a tool. But I think having a detox from the screen is so essential. So what I've started doing is I will leave my phone on the couch or in the kitchen and I will literally look at it. I only do this if I'm alone, or maybe I'll do it mentally, but I will look at it and I will say, you do not own me. You do not own me. You do not own me. And I will walk away. I know it sounds like so psychotic, but creating these mental notes and saying these like almost affirmations are so helpful because I feel like we get so attached to our screens. But I think whenever we tell ourselves that we don't need to rely on it, it actually forces us to believe it. Number 3, create distractions. If you're going through something in your life, I've had some very wild experiences in these last 26, almost 27 years. And I think it's great to distract yourself at that given time to help yourself not overthink or overconsume your mind with pain and grief. And it's great and it's important to feel all those feels, but distracting yourself is really such a great way to be present and continue living your life and to not get wrapped up in things that you can't control. So, if you're in an unsettling position in life, try and distract yourself, go out and do something. You never know what can come along with that. For example, let's say you have like a mega crush on somebody and maybe they don't like you back, or maybe you are having family issues and you don't know how to really overcome them. You're stressed, you're anxious, you're sad. Go out there and pick up a new hobby, do something fun, go out with your friends, distract yourself, because I think if you just mope around and continue on this path of anxiety, negativity, nothing good is going to come out of that. So I'm a big advocate for distracting yourself. Number 4, find different techniques to heal yourself other than traditional therapy. So I did traditional therapy for about 4 years, and it took me a while to get into therapy, honestly. I remember losing my dad, and then I lost my nephew, Philip. And I think we're always told that when you lose someone, go to therapy, and it can be beneficial for a lot of people. For me, it took me years to get into the hot seat. And I think for a while it was actually really helpful. But as time went on, I found myself harboring all of these emotions from my past. I would be constantly just bringing to light these things that had happened, and I would resonate on it, and it would just stick with me and stay in my body for like that following week until I had to go to my session again and talk about something else. And I think it's great for self-awareness, but I think when it comes to actually healing your body and your subconscious, finding different tools and different resources is really beneficial. I worked with a subconscious reprogrammer and almost did hypnosis. So I did these meditative states where I would be guided through them, and I would go through all these different parts of my past, and I would learn to forgive and find a new outlook on the things that had happened to me, whether it was something that I had done or something that somebody else had done to me. But you have to remember that we're all human, and, nobody's perfect, and the trauma that we have is not a part of us. It's just something that we experienced. Number 5, journaling. And that's all. Journal. Whether you have a technique or you want to write about your day, just put your thoughts onto paper. It can be really freeing and it can help you. It can really, really assist you in healing your mental state. And it can just be fun to look back on too. Sometimes I'll flip through my journal and I'll look back on a year ago, and it's cool to see how much growth that I've experienced, even if it's just been a year. So journal and document your life and practice gratitude. Number 6, the only person who can change your outcomes is you. Nobody is going to fix your problems for you. Nobody's just going to land on your doorstep and say, "Hey, Veronica, I'm here to fix all of your problems." It's just not going to happen. So learn to practice positivity and avoid getting addicted to negative thought patterns and negative thinking, negative emotions, because basically what happens is our brain releases neuropeptides. It goes to our body and it talks to all of our bad hormones like our cortisol, and it tells us that we are stressed and we're feeling negative, and our body can literally be reactive to a point where it gets addicted to that feeling, to those emotions. Don't let that happen. Number 7, if you don't know what HZ sound therapy, sound frequency is yet, I'm about to blow your mind. So if you go on Spotify and you type in HZ and literally anything that you need help with. So for instance, whenever I was writing this podcast outline, I was feeling so uncreative. I was having a mental block, and I typed in HZ for creativity. And I swear this playlist healed me. I immediately was just tip tapping away. I had all these amazing ideas. And, these sound frequencies communicate with our brain, and there's different functions to each one. So there's ones for creativity, there's ones for sleep, there's ones for energy, for healing. And I've even found some for like skin health. I feel like it's the coolest thing ever. And it may be placebo to some extent, but I really enjoy it and it helps me. So learn about HC sound frequency, try it out. Let me know what you think. Number 8, write, paint, cook, play, feed your inner child. Number 9, practice gratitude. Like I said earlier, when I talked about journaling, gratitude is so essential. It's so important. It helps you feel more blessed, grateful, joyful, and it can also help you show up as a better person for other people. And yeah, it's all about energy, guys. And I think gratitude is the best way to create a good energy, a good aura around yourself. Number 10, practice mental stimulation or train your brain, maybe even learn a new language. I feel like practicing these brain games or even practicing critical thinking is like the best anti-aging tool for our brains. So I definitely want to get more into that. So that's a tip that I need to carry on for myself. Okay, getting into theme number 3, social connections. And I'm going to breeze through this one because I feel like they're all kind of to the point. But number 1, build a community and give back when you can. Period. Number 2, set boundaries. This is your sign. If somebody is fucking with you and they are bringing you bad energy, there may be an emotional vampire, a leech, create a boundary. And you don't have to do it in a mean, negative, awful, rude way. There's a way to be polite about it. Just create your space, set a boundary. Number 3, nurture relationships that make you feel grounded. I feel like we live in a world now where people are so consumed with who's who and who has this and what can this person offer me. And people are forgetting their roots, where they come from. And I think staying grounded and nurturing those relationships with the people that make you feel that way is so important. It's vital, and you'll ultimately be a better person for it. Number 4, alone time. I love my alone time. My alone time is so necessary for my own well-being. If I don't have my alone time, I am an anxious, crazy freak. So even if it's just snuggling up with a book or cooking yourself a meal or locking yourself in your room, get that alone time. It's much needed. And sometimes we just need it. We need it. Number 5, be a listener, ask interesting questions, and actually get to know people. Number 6, contrary to what this podcast is called, you don't have to drink to be social. Examples: dinner parties, painting parties, wellness days, going on walks with friends, picnics. You don't have to attribute social events to drinking. You don't have to connect the two together. They can go hand in hand when the time is right, but whenever it comes to socializing, don't feel like it needs to be a party or drinking heavily every single time that you want to be social and hang out with friends. Number 7, plan at least 1 to 2 social outings per week. I know hibernation season is upon us, but getting cute and getting out the house is great for your self-confidence, and it will give you something to look forward to. I went to a comedy show a few weeks ago, and it was just so fun to laugh and go with friends and just do something that, I don't know, you don't typically do in your week to week or obviously your day to day. But I went to this cool little intimate, like 2-row comedy show on the Lower East Side. And it was so much fun just to laugh and have a little social outing. But yeah, I think planning to get out of the house and having things to look forward to is just amazing. Number 8, dating is a part-time job. Give yourself time off to figure out what your intentions are or what you're looking for in a partner. Make like a husband list. I have one. It's super long. Maybe one day I'll read it for you guys. It's okay to not constantly be dating or to be picky or not to be on the apps or into them. Take time for yourself. Go on solo dates. Enjoy your alone time. Make some hobbies. Hang out with your friends. And truly take time to work on other things. I swear this has been so incredible for me, just having time by myself and learning more about myself and just focusing on other things. You know, I think sometimes we can put dating on the epicenter or finding the one or finding a partner as the sole priority in our life. And I think whenever you can get comfortable with yourself and have fun on your own, it makes you more attractive. It makes you a magnet. People are more inclined to just be drawn to you. Number 9, on the contrary, it can also make you extremely hyper independent, which I definitely have struggled with for quite some time. It's a great thing, but can also be a little bit of a weakness for me. So sometimes I have literally zero interest in going out on a date or meeting new people, but it's important to put yourself out there and remind yourself that it is cool to meet new people. You can even make a friend out of it. You know, it doesn't always have to be romantic. Learn about yourself in the process and maybe just do it for the plot. Number 10, plan something. I am in my party planner mode at the moment. I love being a hostess, not just on this podcast, like literally in real life. I am a party planning machine. I'm actually planning a party for the 1-year anniversary of the pod. And it's called SLTDs. It's going to be on Saturday. And we're doing a Pilates class, a private Pilates class at SLT Tread. And then we're going to have a little martini happy hour afterwards. We're going to have a bartender there. We're going to have mocktails. And it's going to be so much fun. So yeah, I'm in my party planner mode. It's a great way to see who your support system is, who's willing to help you out, cheer you on, celebrate whatever it may be that you are bringing people together for. And you can get super creative. So decor, party favors, all the things. Going to theme number 4, personal growth and learning. Number 1, find a hobby that doesn't involve your phone. Conscious learning is so important and we need to stimulate our minds. So I've really been wanting to get to a pottery class. I feel like I've said this on so many episodes and I still have not got to this damn pottery class. But why is pottery so expensive? I found this one pottery class. It's literally $500 for one class. I don't know why pottery classes are so expensive. All I want to do is just make a little cup or a little bowl and paint it and bring it home and use it and enjoy myself. Maybe drink my matcha lattes out of it. But no, I can't because it's $500 for one singular class. And also they're all booked up. They're all booked up. I don't know why everybody went on this pottery kick a few years ago, but we need to simmer down so that I can go enjoy myself and I can make my little matcha latte cup. But anyway, besides the point, there's tons of hobbies out there that don't involve your phone, and I suggest you find one. It'll make you more interesting. Number 2, study a new language. This is definitely something that I want to incorporate. I took German in college, lost it all. You know, I learned Greek as a little girl, tried to learn it during COVID, lost it all. So I'm getting back into the groove of utilizing Duolingo. I would say learn one, and obviously it ebbs and flows, But I think you definitely have to be submerged into the culture and the native speakers to truly master language. I mean, there's some people that don't need that, but I definitely need that. And yeah, which leads me to number three. Number three, solo travel is the best form of traveling. I swear I learned just so much about the cultures that I was visiting and myself while I was solo traveling this summer. It was so mind altering. I never want to travel another way again. I had so much fun by myself and I got to eat whatever I wanted. I got to do all the activities I wanted. I got to meet new people. I was more open to meeting new people and learning about them. And yeah, it was truly so fulfilling and amazing. And I will be doing that every summer from now on, hopefully, fingers crossed. Number four, invest in courses, workshops, seminars, networking opportunities. Learning from others is so important and so valuable. Number five, volunteer. Volunteer, 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 especially around the holidays. There's so many volunteer opportunities. Get out there, help your communities, do something that is going to benefit somebody other than yourself. And not only does it benefit somebody else, but it also makes you feel amazing. Number six, make it a priority to do one act of random kindness every day. Fun fact, I was actually the president of the Acts of Random Kindness Club at my high school. I started it. It had been a club previously, but then the girl that was the president left the school and it was dismantled. So I was like, we need more kindness. We need good energy here. I'm going to start the Acts of Random Kindness Club again. And it was super fun. I had a ton of members. They carried it on after I left. I think it's still going on. So hell yeah, our club, respect. So even if it's just a compliment, make sure to just commit to one act of random kindness per day. Number seven, make a playlist, find new music. I don't know what it is, but being into music, always having a song for the moment, maybe even just being musically inclined yourself is so hot. I don't know what it is, but just having all the right tunes and just being like a music person is like really hot. So this is your sign to curate a new playlist or get on your Spotify account and find some new music. Maybe find an undiscovered band, who knows? Number eight, learn to laugh at yourself. Nothing is all that serious. Life is more fun that way. Number nine, read, even if you think you don't like it. I swear there is a book for everyone. So if you think you don't like to read, I promise you that there is a book just waiting for you to pick it up. And again, it's hot. Number 10, embrace change and view challenges as opportunities for growth. So going to the last little theme, work-life balance. So I think having a work-life balance is so essential. Me as a Capricorn, I have zero work-life balance. I actually have somehow intermingled my work and my life all together as one. And I think that's just kind of the lay of the land whenever it comes to entrepreneurship and being a content creator. It kind of all goes together. You know, I constantly have my phone. I'm constantly snapping videos and pictures. And, you know, whenever I'm having conversations with people, I'm thinking, oh, this would be great to implement into my business or into the podcast. So, you know, I think this is something that I definitely need to pledge to for this upcoming year, or even just start now. So number one, don't overcommit. Trust me on this. I have just made myself crazy by overcommitting to things. I've disappointed people. I've disrespected their time. Whenever you overcommit, you stress yourself out, and having that chill, peaceful nights in at home is actually going to help you show up better for, you know, the things that you do commit to. So try to say no and say yes accordingly. But yeah, don't overcommit. Number two, you are not just your career. You're a friend, you're a family member, you're a partner maybe, a community member, and just a really cool person. Even if it's something you are really passionate about, don't let it be the epicenter of your life. Just let it be a part of you. Number three, time management. Delegate tasks when needed and get ahead of the schedule. It will save you a headache from later on. Number four, Set realistic expectations, but don't sell yourself short either. Number 5, reward yourself for your hard work. And something I like to call this is the reward system. So I've been practicing this for years now. And, I think it's super helpful when it comes to accomplishing your goals or, reaching towards your dreams, maybe certain accolades. The reward system can be even as small as getting a project done and celebrating yourself. So even last night, I actually practiced the reward system. So I finished the outline for this podcast, and then I treated myself to a chocolate chia pudding. I ate it on my couch. I watched a movie, and it was lovely. And yeah, I think whenever you're able to accomplish certain tasks, just in the back of your mind, when you have this idea of what you're going to reward yourself with, it helps you get it done faster and you're more efficient. Number 6, embrace downtime without guilt to avoid burnout. Yeah, that is so huge. You have to embrace your downtime and you have to be present. You have to enjoy yourself. Don't be quick to think about what's ahead of you, what your future lies, what's on the other side of that email inbox or that text message. Nothing is that important. Reward yourself, embrace your downtime without guilt. Number 7, figure out your own organization method. So time blocking, theme days, whatever it may be. For me personally, I do theme days. So each day I will work on a certain project or a certain business and ultimately curate my week that way. So when you have your own organization method, you are unstoppable. Number 8, walk, get sunshine, move your body. A great way to do this is to set reminders in your phone. So I think it is so important for every 30 to 60 minutes to move our body somehow. Sitting stagnant or standing still for long periods of time is not good for our overall health. And our bodies are built to move, and doing so for approximately 3 minutes every hour helps us feel our best. So you can even take calls on your walk or get a stretch in between calls, or maybe even do 10 jumping jacks in between project to project, just to get your blood pumping. Just move your body and care for her. She wants to be cared for. Number 9, set app limits. And I'm smiling because I turned mine off, but I need to turn them back on. I'm doing that after this episode. Turn on your app limits. It's a setting on your phone. You can literally just construct app limits for any single app. So for me, Instagram, TikTok, yeah, I'll set app limits for about an hour. Sometimes I'll go over and that's fine, but you need to actually create this boundary with it. And doing so will help you spend more time presently, and will just ultimately help you show up in social situations or when you're spending quality time with friends, family, maybe your loved one. So set app limits. That's a reminder to myself as well. Number 10, communicate effectively. And this also goes hand in hand with organization, because you can be the most disorganized person in the entire world. And if you are able to communicate correctly, you will 100% look more put together. Communication is key, and it is so important to properly communicate with people, whether it be in business and friendship, when it comes to dating. I think obviously we can all fall short sometimes, but when you become a good communicator, oh my gosh, you are really going to look like you have it all together. Trust me. But I guess that's all. Wow. So we talked about physical well-being. We talked about mental and emotional wellness, social connections, personal growth, learning, work-life balance when it comes to self-care. I think all 5 of these attributes are just the foundation for self-care. And you guys know I love me some self-care. I love self-care. I am just so grateful to be able to share these learnings with you. Even some things that I am a work in progress on were listed here. And, I think when we focus on ourselves and our healing and just our overall joy, happiness, positivity, just what we're learning, trial and error, experimentation, good things happen. And it can be easy to, again, fall short on our self-care and ourselves and, wear all these different hats and have all these moving parts in our lives where we feel obliged to be solely responsible and in control. But whenever you delegate time to yourself and just your own personal well-being, amazing things can happen. Again, thank you guys so much for allowing me to do this for 50 freaking episodes. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Without you guys sharing on socials, liking, rating, subscribing to the podcast, this truly wouldn't be possible. It helps me to keep going and it supports the podcast more than you know. So cheers to 50 more. And I'll see you guys next week. Ta-ta.
Truly, most of the time, you are not there for no reason, and you're not where you are for no reason, and you have to just remind yourself that. And that's what I remind myself, and then I feel a little bit better.
Think of what you can do to just slow down your heart rate, make yourself feel a little better, going on a walk, meditating, Pilates class.
You're manifesting, you're setting yourself up to start that journey of whatever you're manifesting. So